Wednesday now, different morning, you know, the next morning. I just thought I'm on my way back east, just because from Milk River I'm going back to riding on Stone Provincial Park, because I kind of bypassed that. I was on the other side of the river yesterday, and I got an extra day here so that I can see some of this things in this area here that one of my favorite type areas. But anyway, unfortunately, last night I noticed the sky looking a little smoky, so here I don't know if I can do it from here. I'll just wait for a minute here. So in other words, whereas yesterday was clear and bright, puffy clouds and visibility unlimited. Well, let's see if I can do it. There is the West Butte, the Sweetgrass Hills. You can barely make it out. The smoke, and at the moment, well, no, it could be a pigment of my imagination. The other buttes are just almost invisible here today. But I am going right to the park, so hopefully we can get in, not like Fort Walsh yesterday. But anyway, and you know, that's relatively close. And then some of the places back trails I was planning to Black Butte Road down along the south side of the Milk River. I was hoping to get into there. That's a fair bit closer, so maybe there'll be more of a presence in the videos and stuff. Let's see if I can do it from here. Well, here we are on the highway. There's Sweetgrass Hills, and I saw a curious thing, some birds attacking. Well, actually I thought they were picking a rattlesnake. I thought it was dead, lying on the side of the road. So I came back to take a picture of a dead rattlesnake, and instead I think it's alive. Here, I'll put my keys in my pocket then. The birds are attacking it. I don't know if it was hit by a car. You see the birds? It's all coiled up now. He's looking at me. He's looking at me. A little tongue wiggling. He's watching me. Was his rattle run over? I think that's just your prairie rattler, typical prairie rattler. They have almost a green color. I think somebody said that's the females. Do I hear some rattles? I'm just wondering if the tail looks kind of squished. I wonder if it was run over. And that's where the rattle is. Pour a little bigger. Sniffing me, sniffing me. Maybe that's why the birds are pestering him. I thought, well, maybe, first I thought he was dead. And I thought, well, maybe it's near its nest. But look at that tail. The tail looks damaged. I wonder if the birds are anticipating dinner. Anyway, we'll leave the little girl. Hopefully she makes it into the ditch, and I don't know, like I say, that tail should be just rattling right now, but I think it got run over. Probably lying on the pavement, trying to keep warm, or something. I'm not going to get too close. No, I don't like the look of the tail. It's swollen, and the rattle should be just absolutely vibrating with me being this close. Poor little thing. Circle of life, blah, 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 blah. Here we are. That's West Butte. And like I say, it's so much smoke you can't even see the rest of them. There's the Gold Butte way on the in the thing. Poor little girl. Nice healthy one too. Look at the size of her. No, she's not even paying any attention to me anymore. Aw. Oh well. We'll head back. Here we are at Stone Provincial Park. You can see down below me is actually the campground where we spent several times. And the canyons with the coulees that go up to the top. Badlands. Like I was saying, it's quite a smoky day today, so the hills are hard to see. But I guess, oh look, some of the original inhabitants are, and way, I think, sure, yeah, way, you see the, I don't know, it's probably a little tiny little dot on this thing, but just to the left hand side of the teepee is its picnic table, and over the picnic table you can see little buildings. Well, that's the replica of the Northwest Mounted Police Post that I actually had an opportunity to work on way back at the Stone Age when I worked for provincial parks. But in reality, whether it was by design or just happened, this looks more like from my unpublished manuscript where the camp of many horses was when they were wiped out by smallpox. And then Nightwalker woman, or Wolfberry, which was her name, her childhood name, Wolfberry, spent the winter. And then when she had some Crow Indians raid her little horse herd, she pursued them up these coulees. And she knew them all very well from being there for living for the winter. So she was able to cut them off and recover her horses, because that's all the wealth she had left, was with her family all being extinct. But anyway, back to the present. You can see down below picnic tables. That's the little beach. That's a beautiful, I don't know about this time of year, but that's a great place to swim. You walk to the west end of the campground, get in the water there, and the current carries you down and around and around and around and around and around, and then dumps you out here. So you can go back again, do it again and again and again. It's an absolute blast. We'll look at the touristy things. And at the bottom of the viewpoint here, the very other thing. No drones. Not a permit. That seems to be, all these park places are like that these days. Anyway. Let's pause. When we were young, these steps weren't here. It was just a dirt track. We probably sprinted up these things. Now there's a handrail for the old folks and steps. But this is the reward. If you don't die of a heart attack, this is your reward, the view. And as I was saying, down there, as you can see the buildings, is a replica of the was it 1885? I'm not sure. Now, you're probably looking at little tiny things. But anyway, the building on the left was the barn, and the small roof was the tack room. Tack room was made out of stone. The barn was made out of spruce that was floated down the river originally from the mountains, which are somewhere in that haze. On the right is the barracks and the quarters, the kitchen and quarters and stuff like that. And it was made out of local cottonwood, poplar logs. So it was higgledy-piggledy and stuff like that, but they recreated it exactly the same way, so it should eventually sag just like the original. You can also see an outhouse there too. But this area was flooded year after year, and the tack room, whatever was on the floor got left there, and the archaeologists would sift through. Well, don't tell anyone, but I have got piles of lead and brass from down there, because the Mounties had nothing better to do. You would have thought they would have had to keep track of their ammunition, but you see the bank with the trees below the rocks there. They would sit on a rock or whatever out in the front yard and then shoot at bottles. And so there's lots of lead, lots of cartridge cases. In fact, under the steps was somebody's initials in empty, I think it was 4570, the cartridge that the Mounties were using in their Winchesters. But the rock, as you go up that canyon, I think you can kind of see a bit of a sign, and that's where the Mounties all carved their names. And there was on top of one of the little round top bluffs there, which you obviously can't see from here, they had drilled a hole, and they actually had a flagpole up there. So that's what it would be if there was a whiskey trader or somebody trying to sneak in across the border using that coulee. They'd come around the corner and walk right into the Northwest Mounted Police. But yeah, everything on the other side, I think this side is the ecological reserve, but down for streams opposite the campground, we have waded the river and then hiked up these other coulees. And like I was telling you yesterday, we made it all the way up on the west shoulder. Well, not quite that far, I guess, a little further in. Anyway, we made it up on the West Butte there. Let's see, we've got our, I don't have to put the extra microphone on because it isn't very windy, and we've got our mosquito friends. Oh, here's yeah, a little bit of thingy whacker description. Like I say, that's so hazy you can't see the other tops of the other buttes. Oh, and here's a picture of the original, and they pretty well rebuilt that one you see down there on this spot, and underneath this landing was the initials S something or other, I can't remember now, in used cartridge cases under there. And the other interesting thing is between these doors, they used a post straight up and down, so the roof actually ended up sagging. But there was in one of the pictures you could see a rock here, but they excavated with a bulldozer, just taking the top layers of silt. But in one of the early pictures you can see a rock, and around where that rock was you could see it was the broken pieces after they had bulldozed it, and around that broken rock was countless piles of brass where they had sat on that rock and shot back towards the bank and just dumped their casings or buried them in the ground there, you know, stuck them in the ground. Some more pictures of the moundy post on the far side. Now you can see over this way there's a rodeo grounds, because they do have an annual rodeo, and that may have been how some of the original artwork ended up getting damaged. Oh, I can hear a pheasant. Pheasant down there somewhere. I can see a hunting hawk of some kind too hovering over the... Oh, it just landed on a post. Well, we've seen the pheasants from, you know, Manitoba to, well, to here. They're just absolutely everywhere. They're doing very well down here. But anyway, there was a rodeo ground there, and there may actually still be some down. I'll go down the bank through via the other pathway, and there may be some writings you're allowed to see. In those days you could walk right up to them. Now they tend to guard them. Oh, another pheasant off in that direction. Well, let's move on. Here. Let's move on. I think it's kind of a... Oh, I see. Oh, that's a Calgary. Oh well. Anyway, it's a winter camp. I just thought that was a little bit fitting, seeing how in my manuscript Wolfberry spends a winter amongst her dead family's camp down below. Journey to the end. Yeah, there we go. At twilight they could hear the voices of spirits calling out people's names, inviting them to come to their lodge to smoke. Yeah. Yeah, let's try and oh, here we go, Death Lodge. Yeah, when an important chief or warrior died, he was often laid to rest inside his teepee. After the death lodge was carefully sealed, it would then be abandoned. Outside the lodge, it was common practice to sacrifice several of the man's finest horses. They could serve him in the afterlife. Sacred and personal objects such as weapons and tools were left with almost all burials, including those found writing on stone. Well, if I ever get my story published, I do try and include all this history. Oh, there's some stuff. Let's pause. Here's the sign talking about the trail and the different things you're going to see, I guess. Oh, is there pamphlets? Oh, there's a pamphlet. Jack gets a souvenir. Start on down the trail. I'm trying to keep with not walking and filming. Here's in one of the places there is a bench, but I think some of the flowers here seem to be, I can't see any right now, but there's like shooting stars only in yellow. Anyway, yeah, back in the 70s when there was no super money for funding these things, we used to scamper and run through these things and climb and clamber. Lloyd particularly was a really good scrambler. He loved to, whenever we were down here, run and scramble through these. There's the Mountie post again. Another perspective from a little further down. You see where all the swallows over the years have built nests. Ooh, that looks like a face. Ooh, there's a cool one standing by itself. Did I just see it? Oh, maybe not. Thought I saw lightning from that little cloud over there. There's some brown-eyed Susans down here. We've got a nice set of stairs for us old fogies. This, yeah, I remember running like deer through this labyrinth. Sorry, Owen. I'm walking and filming it again. Somewhere just around here is supposed to be. You can see what, you know, how the swallows are about these, and the wind, I guess, the wind and whatever. So which way are we supposed to go? Down. Let's look down. Let's keep going down. This ain't something you'd see in Pictou County. Not too often. Oh, this is just a various loop. There's a juniper. I think it might be standing. I remember Jim and I trying to decide what made a better incense, the standing juniper or the creeping juniper or the kinnick. Looks like some Martian megalopolis or something. I don't know which way we're supposed to go, so we'll go this way for a bit. Just randomly, this could be a little bell grass. Let's see what it's attached to. No, I'm not sure. Don't think so, because it was actually had a stalk like grass, little purple flowers. Oh, it could be. And we dug some up on the roadside and took it home when we lived in Calgary and planted it. And though the plant never died, it never did blossom again. And of course I read about that afterwards. Viewpoint camera battle scene. Okay, we will go. Oh, look at that! Isn't that incredible? Look at that! And listen to that meadowlark, just chirping away, just happy as can be. And there's the West Butte sticking up out of that coulee. This must be the beginning of the battle scene painting or carving. I don't think there was ever any fences. At one time they actually used to have people standing here. Is that a game? Is that a game camera? I can hear a plane, a crop duster. Well, I don't know. Oh, there's one down at the end that's really caged in. So whatever was here, maybe this fence is just to prevent graffiti. And the actual thing we're going to see is much further down. Well, this is a cage to protect rock carvings from the most vicious animal of all kind. That's us. Oh yeah, it's just very, very, you can kind of see the teepees. Try to ignore everybody else's scratch marks. Over there some more. Here. Let's see. Oh yeah, there's the teepees in a circle. It's amazing they're, oh, that, and you can see the guns, they're like flintlocks, and the dots. Oh, there's a pheasant behind me somewhere. Shooting at the attacking enemy. I think this is supposed to be the Blackfoot camp on the hilltop, being attacked by the crows down below. And I don't know, you might, there's more of the camp down there. Here's kind of what it's supposed to look like. Although, so some people have pointed out that they thought the square-shouldered characters are more reminiscent of what the Shoshone draw. But they occupied, or were familiar with this area long before, before the Blackfoot came in. They introduced the horse, as a matter of fact, to the Blackfoot. But flintlocks, horses, I would almost suggest that this is like it says. Fought somewhere in Milk River in 1866. It's possible. Now someone figures the drawings are from the late 1800s. Well, then it would be Blackfoot drawings. Because somebody was pointing, in a book I read, they were pointing out the difference. And the speculation was that a certain style of people were Shoshone, while the Blackfoot did their style of people. See, like it says, both the horse and the gun were introduced to the northwestern plains in approximately 1730. The larger number of guns and horses in this scene indicates that it was carved sometime after this date. The scene may represent an actual battle described by Niitsitapii elder Bird Rattle. He directly linked this rock art to the retreat up the hill battle fought somewhere along the Milk River in 1866. It was one of the most decisive Niitsitapii victories over a combined war party of the Gros Ventre Crows and Plains Cree, who lost more than 300 warriors. Sounds similar to Indian Battle Park, doesn't it? Only that was 1870. The petroglyphs was likely carved in the late 1800s, and Bird Rattle described the battle during his visit he made to writing on stone in 1924. And it's on this great big bloody cliff. Grasshoppers and crunchy shoes. And a little bit closer view. That's probably about as close as we're going to get. I love those meadowlarks. Once again, nothing. Western meadowlark. Back when I was writing the thing, I could say in Niitsitapii and Blackfoot too, but I can't retain languages. But anyway, there's about as close as we're going to get to the Mountie post. There's the little knob there to the left of the horse barn up in the top, where there had been a flagpole planted at some time. Oh, people are coming. Just a little note on things. while I'm resting on this bench. I think I saw a Facebook reminder or something that it had been 7 years? 7 years since we moved to Nova Scotia. And I remember trying to walk around town, doing big walks as a matter of fact. But I would say for the last 5 years, in particular, the past year, I have spent sequestered in my little cubby hole, theoretically writing a story about this land here. Mostly just sitting there watching YouTube, getting ideas on how to blow thousands of dollars on four-wheel drives. But anyway, I'm just a huffing and a puffing to get up here like some kind of old man. I notice I kind of shuffle along and I kind of got a hunchback, and now that could be from over 5,000 kilometers or sitting behind the wheel of a Jeep. But yeah, I am not looking after myself. Because when I get back, of course, I want to sequester myself back into that office and go through the story and add something that would make viewers, if not taste this or hear it, I don't know, experience it, if I have the word ability, which I don't think I do. I used to, but I don't anymore. My brain is failing as well as my hiking ability. But anyway, I just thought I'd, no, I like that background over there better. I thought I'd just add this little note that it's not fun getting old. I'm 69, going to be 70 in November, and I feel twice the age hiking up this hill. Too bad. You only get one chance. I just realized as I'm driving away, looking at I'm going to spend the day poking around here, but driving away from writing on stone, this could be the last time. 7 years ago I popped in here thinking that I'd never see the place again. I managed to, at great expense, do it again, but this, at my age, this could be the last time. So the only way I'll be able to come back here again is in my memory for as long as that lasts, I guess.